Today we will be making this lovely envelope and card Flipbook mini album. Okay, so for today's project, you're going to need 6 cards and 5 or 6 envelopes. So the envelopes I used are these kind with the flat flap. I will link the original video that inspired me down below because she used the more traditional envelopes with the triangle type flap, and so she did hers a little bit different. But I'm going to trim off that top piece. And then what I did, so I only needed 5 envelopes because I didn't cut an envelope into 1-inch strips. Instead of cutting my envelope into 1-inch strips, I took these flap pieces and I cut them into 1-inch strips. So, and then you fold them in half. Okay, so you're going to need 20 small mats and 24 large mats. The large mats are for the cards and small mats are for the envelopes that are folded in half. Rather than give you measurements, because it really depends on what size cards and envelopes you use, to get the look where there's that little edge going around that you just saw, basically I trimmed my papers 1/8 of an inch smaller than my card and envelope measurements. Now for me, I picked out a piece that I'm going to use for the front cover, and for the back cover I liked this saying, and so then the back piece is just a matching piece from that same scrap. And then this is the rest of my mats for the rest of my cards. Okay. And then you need 12 papers to make pockets. And I've already cut mine and have them ready to go. I made some rectangular pockets and I made some corner pockets. Okay, so to get going, we're going to first attach our envelopes and our cards together. So what you do is, I'm using tacky glue, and you just put glue onto the one side of the strip of the envelope that you're using for your mats, and then you place it close to the edge, smooth it down, and then you're going to put glue on to the other side. And because I use the flap pieces, there's that where you would seal them, and I made sure that those are folded so that they'll be on the outside. Now I am putting my envelopes toward the bottom. You do want to make sure you have your tops opening at what will be the top of your book. Okay, and we're just going to keep going till we have all of the envelopes and cards attached. Okay, so now it's time to start matting. I am using ATG tape. You could use wet glue, which I believe in the original video she did. I don't like using wet glue when I'm matting That's just my preference. I prefer the ATG. And if you're using ATG, you just want to make sure you have your piece placed where you want it before you press it down. Because once you press it down, it's not coming back up with ATG. So I'm going to go ahead and do the front and the back, and then I'll start doing the mats on the inside. Okay, and I did take Distress ink and just go around all the edges of all of my mats. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of looking through, and there are some of the mats for the cards that I don't want to be where I'll be making pockets. So I was just pulling them out. And there will be pockets on, like right here where the card is open. I won't put pockets on the side that has the envelope in between it. Okay, now we have everything matted. We will make a spine to cover that. Now we're going to start putting in the pockets. And what I'm going to do here first is just decide which pockets I want where. Okay, on the sides of all of the pockets, I did this little strip. It is a 1/4 inch wide, and I folded it in half and put it on the edges because I like a little more space in my pockets. I don't like them glued completely flat down to the pages. Okay, so now that I've decided where I want them, I'm going to start putting them in. And I just take a little bead of glue and run it right on that little splash that I made, and then along the bottom. And once you have that, you just mash it up and put it down and just rub it down. Okay, now for the corner pockets, I run on that little flat there that I made, and then along the bottom. I don't put anything over on the small hand. Right there, I don't put any glue because I like to leave that open. That's the way I like these pockets set up. And then we will just continue until we have all of our pockets placed in the book. Okay, now I'm going to make a cover for the spine of the book. And first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put tacky glue all along here where the envelopes are. And then I'm also going to run in just a narrow little bead right there where it's just the cards, just being careful just to get it onto those little things. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of pink cardstock and I'm going to cut a strip 2 inches wide. And then I'm going to cut it the length of the book, which I'm sorry I'm out of frame, but that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting it to the length of the book. And then I am going to score it at a 1/2 inch on both sides for the fold. So basically it's a 2 inch piece of paper scored a 1/2 inch. So the middle part is an inch. And then I'm just pressing that down with my bone folder. And I'm going to put ATG on the center 1 inch piece, not on the flaps. And then I'm going to take the book, and I'm sorry, I have to have it close to me where I can see it. And basically I'm lining it up in the center. And at the top part of the book where you just have the cards and there's no envelopes, you have to take your time to kind of arrange those so they're spread out evenly. And then you want to press down on the bottom of the book, and then that's just me trimming it. I left it a little longer than I needed it, and then I just trimmed off that little piece. Okay, and now I'm going to take tacky glue and I'm going to run a bead of glue all along here. I don't want it too thick, but I want it to cover the whole area. And then I just carefully take it and fold it over and press it down, making sure not to smash the pages at the top. Okay, and then we're going to do the same with this flap here and press it down. And then we will have our book basically completed. And right now I am taking a black micron because the edge of that spine cut off part of the G on the word garden. And so I am recreating there you go, the G coming out onto the pink and black. And now the book is ready, and I'm going to let it set overnight, and then I will come back in and make tags to go into the small pockets. And in the larger pockets, I'm going to be putting crafting goodies because this book is for a swap in a group that I'm in. Okay, so here is the front cover that I decorated. I used some of this. It's similar to Glossy Accents. What I actually use, the brand I use, is Crystal 3D, because you can get a big bottle and it's cheaper, and then I just put it into the fine line bottle. And so I had used that to make some highlights on the words and some of the leaves. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to make some tags to put into the small pockets. Okay, so to do this, I'm just taking some of the cardstock that I had actually used to make the pockets on the larger pages, and I'm going to trim it down, and I'm going to do, these are going to be 2.5 inches by 5 inches. Yeah, by 5. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to turn these into tags. I made marks a 1/2 inch in from each side and 1/2 inch down. And then I'm going to use those marks, just little dots, and then I line my scissors up and I just clip off the corners. And then I use this one to be a pattern for the rest of them. Okay, now I am going to use my crocodile and punch a hole, just eyeballing it to center it. You could use any hole punch if you don't have a crocodile. And then I'm just going to finish punching the rest of these. Okay, now for the fun part, putting on decorations. I got out an assortment of words. I like words on my tags. And I got out some butterflies and some other embellishments. And I'm going to use these to decorate the tags with. Okay, and I just use a variety of words and little embellishments and lace and trim to make the ties at the top. Okay, now that all the tags are done, it is time to start sticking them into the little pockets. Okay, and after I finish up all the tags, then I have went through and I've put some crafting goodies into the pockets. So here's what I've added into the different pockets. Some of the pockets where I don't have anything is because the book was getting too bulky and I didn't want to break it. So I just have little items that I'm going to put in, and I'll just package them in with this when I send it off to my recipient. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And if you click the bell, you will get notifications when I post new videos. If you haven't checked out my Summer Craft Hop giveaway, it is still going on through the end of June. Thank you and have a great day.